What's up, guys? So today in the garage we're going to be installing this Rexing dash cam that I ordered off Amazon. You probably see that I talked about it in my other video. Showed you a little bit about unboxing it, but I'm going to show you what comes in the box actually. So when you get it, this is what the box is going to look like. It's all taped up and everything like that. Came right out of the Amazon box looking just like this. And then this is everything that comes out of it. So you're going to have your quick start guide that was on top, and then right underneath that is the offer to, if you are willing to give them a review on Amazon and fill out this sheet, they'll actually send you a free micro SD card, which I'm going to do because, I mean, everybody likes free, right? They also offer you a free smart hardware kit. Just, again, send in your order information to them and they'll send you that. You have a safety guide, and then this is just a card to be able to claim your 18-month warranty that they offer with this thing as well. You're going to have your main dash cam unit that mounts to the windshield, the power cord for it, your rear dash cam with all the wiring for it, and then these are your mounts for your front cam and your rear cam, and then the 3M double stick tape. Just tape them to the windshield and the rear window. That's everything that comes in the kit, so let's get to putting this thing in. Alright, so I got my glove box pulled out because I'm actually going to run the cable back behind it up in here to this outlet right here. So it's got to come down from the windshield. I'm going to run it along the fabric, down this plastic trim here, in behind the dash, and then down here and across and over, so I can run the cord out like over here somewhere, and then run it out to this plug. And eventually what I'm going to do is I will take this, probably take this trim piece off to get access to the 12-volt outlet wiring back here, and I'll tap in the 12-volt port off of that I can just plug their dash cam into and leave it plugged into all the time, so I don't have to worry about it being plugged in up here. So alright, so this is pretty straightforward. Just peel off your two pieces of double stick tape, stick them to the mounting bracket. The camera itself clips into the mounting bracket, and then you can stick the camera in the windshield. I recommend using the camera as leverage to push it against the windshield just because it's easier to push on. Plug the power cord in. It's ran up underneath the edge of the headliner here. I was able to pull this piece of trim back. Most cars you'll be able to do this pretty easily. Ran it up underneath the headliner here and then out to the outside, and then it's ran down here, comes out right here, and then I pull off this trim piece on the edge of the end of the dash here. I've also pulled back all this weather stripping too. This is just clipped over top of this pinch weld on the body here, so you can just grab a hold of the outside edge of it here and pull it towards you, and you'll pull it off. And then this trim piece right here just has these little clips holding it on, and you take a pry tool and pry in behind it right here at the edge of the dash and pop it off. This is a 2008 Ford Taurus X, but I've worked on so many cars, and literally every single car, this end of this piece pulls off that same way. So get that popped off. I'm going to finish running this power cable up through the dash over here and have it come out over here underneath this trim here to plug into the 12-volt outlet on the dash. And then I'm going to start running the rear camera from up here. Should make my life a little bit easier. So, alright guys, so I got this Rexing dash cam finished installed. I realized about halfway through running the wiring for the rear camera, I was trying to run it down along the bottom, which is kind of like a habit of mine to run wires along the floor, that it was actually designed to run along the top. I realized once I got about halfway down the car that it wasn't going to be long enough to continue back and then back up to the top of the car. So I actually went back and routed it back up this pillar, so it comes right out of the camera and runs along the roof in here. I pulled this weather stripping down all the way back here and ran it in along the roof, tucked it up in the headliner, and I did that in this door as well. And then I came back here and I tucked it up underneath this piece of plastic here, and then up behind the headliner here, ran it down and around, tucked it behind this piece of plastic here, pulled this weather stripping off here, tucked it in behind here. The excess wire that I had left over is actually this twist tied and shoved down in the headliner in here. And then the wire comes out here and runs to the camera that is also 3M double stick taped to the glass back here. I don't really like how this looks. It looks like somebody did it, you know, in haste. A little bit of a time constraint today, so I'm not gonna be able to do it, you know, completely. What I think I'm gonna do in the future is I'm actually gonna pull back this grommet, or this wire harness here, and run it through this wire harness, and then bring it out in behind this trim, and then probably run it out from behind here into this camera. But as you can see, that's going to require me to take off the arm for my automatic lift gate and pull all this trim off and stuff like that. And I don't have the time to do that today. So I just wanted to show you guys how this thing works too. It's pretty simple to navigate and use. There's a button here on the side that enters into the menu, and then as you can see, you have resolution, dual record, which means it'll record from the front and rear camera at the same time. This loop recording adjusts how often it records back over itself. So this camera's set up to where it'll record a minute of video, and then after it records a minute of video, it starts recording back over that first minute of video over and over again, so it doesn't take up a whole bunch of space on the memory card. I'm pretty sure every single dash cam on the market's designed that way. You can actually set it up to where it doesn't do that and it continues to record. The only problem is then you have to have a giant memory card and go back and delete files afterwards. So setting it up on loop recording is the best option. You can set it up. This one in here is got some intervals, 1, 2, and 3 minute intervals to it. I have it set on 1 minute just because that's what I wanted. This is your, I believe, wide dynamic range. And then your exposure, you can change how much lens exposure there is and just to adjust how much light the camera's taking in. You can turn on and off recording audio. You can change it to whether or not it date stamps recordings. You can enter your own license plate number in. This is what lets the camera know that the car's been involved in an accident, and to keep that. So when these cameras are in anybody's car, and you have that gravity sensing option turned on, when the car senses an accident, it'll actually continue recording it will save that section, a 30 or a minute long section, when it senses that impact, and it doesn't continue to rewrite that section of the video. So it saves, if you have in a car accident, everything that happened leading up to the car accident for evidence and insurance purposes and stuff like that. You can change it. This parking monitor, you actually have to have the smart hardware kit in order to do that, but that's to where this is off, but it senses motion. So if somebody hits your car while it's parked, it'll start recording what happened 30 seconds prior to, or what happened after it gets hit. It feels motion, it powers itself up and turns the camera on and starts recording what happened, so you can get a license plate of somebody that might have like backed into your car and then drives away. And then also you have a second menu. There you go. There's your setup menu. And then you can turn your Wi-Fi on. You can set your date and time, change the volume of the camera itself, change the language, the recording frequency, the format in which you're recording in. Sorry, this is not format when you're recording in. That's actually to format the SD card. So when you put an SD card in, you have to format it, and it actually sets the SD card up to be able to record the information that this camera is putting out. Screensaver adjusts how long this screen on this thing stays on after you press the button. You can set it, as you can see, for 15 seconds, a minute, or 3 minutes. I have it set to 15 seconds because I don't want the screen on all the time. And then you can turn on and off daylight savings time so that it adjusts the time in the camera when it knows that it's daylight savings time. If you have the GPS antenna hooked up, this is to set your GPS speed unit. Set your time zone so that it knows when to do daylight savings time and what time to be changing it to. This changes the camera back to default settings, and then this tells you what software version it has in it. So, like I said, pretty easy to do. That's what the camera looks like looking at the front. And then here you can change whether or not it's showing you the front and back at the same time. If it'll do it. Right. And this button right here, I just want to continue to show you this button right here on the far right side of this dash cam allows you to change what you're viewing on this camera, on this screen. So either the back camera, the front camera alone, picture-in-picture of the back camera and the front camera, or picture-in-picture of the front camera and then the back camera is the smaller picture. So I'm not really concerned at all times what the back camera is seeing. I'm more or less concerned about what the front camera is seeing. It's not going to matter much anyways because, like I said, it's got a 15-second screensaver to where it shuts that screen off. So I'm going to get some drive time in and see whether or not I like what it's doing, and I'm gonna probably go back and watch set it to manual record and watch some of the videos it's recording so I can see what the quality is like, and I will give you guys an update whether it's in another just probably another video that I do. I'll give you an update on how I feel about this dash cam. So if you guys could please subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment down below if you have any questions, and I'll see you guys later.